So next up we have Allison Kennedy, yes, who is at the National Centre for Farmer Health, Western District Health Service, and is going to be talking to us about reducing suicide stigma. The Ripple has started, which is a reference to the Ripple Effect, the project that she's a research fellow on at the National Centre for Farmer Health, and it's a collaboration with Deakin University, or a unit of Deakin University. This is a topic that's very close to my heart in terms of supervising a few PhD students who've worked in this area, and farmers' health and farmers' mental health and well-being, and farming families' mental health and well-being is a really critical element that we need to know a little bit more about, particularly in our more rural regions. So thanks, Alison.
Thanks, Frances. And I would also like to acknowledge last night's presentations from Jason Trethowan and Rob Knowles, very much emphasising that need to improve support for social and emotional wellbeing, and particularly in involving communities and community members in doing that. And that's certainly something that we have endeavoured to do with the Ripple Effect. We have a steering group which has a large proportion of farming people in that. And we also have a 60 strong community champions group as well, of community members which help us drive this project forward. Find the right buttons. And just before I do give you a bit of a rundown on the Ripple Effect, I'd like to provide you with a bit of background to the project. So I just want to show you this brief video, just so you can get an idea of what we found in some previous research that we did in our interactions with the farming community that really gave some impetus for developing the Ripple Effect. So I will go through briefly the website that we've developed in response to this. So the aim of making the website was to reduce the stigma associated with an experience of suicide for males from the farming community aged 30 to 64 years. Now, this was a stipulation that came along with our funding from Beyond Blue, and this was the target audience that we needed to look at. But what we have found in our communications with people in the farming community and the rural community more general is that everybody really is affected when there is suicide or risk of suicide in their community. So we have really expanded that focus beyond that target group on which we'll need to report to include everybody in the rural community. And that includes males, females and others. And so everybody over 18 years of age is invited to participate in the Ripple Effect. So this just gives you an overview of the website, and I will break this down as we continue to move through the presentation. So as soon as people come to the website and register to participate, there's an immediate email sent out to them with a list of resources available to them. And these are local, based on their postcode, so locally available resources, state-based and nationally available resources. So we really recognise that we are not a crisis website. So while we do provide crisis details on every page of the website, we felt that it was important to have these resources available to people participating from a very early stage. We do pre and post assessment of changes in stigma in literacy, and this is how we're evaluating the benefit or otherwise of the website. So we use an adapted form of the stigma of suicide scale, and that's adapted to measure self-stigma. And we also use the literacy of suicide scale. We have a flexible login system. So once people have registered, we do encourage people not to participate in one lump sum of time. So we encourage them to visit the site a few times over a period of a couple of weeks. So we want to make that as easy for people as possible. So once people have registered, whenever they return to the site, they'll be taken immediately back to the place where they'd left off. So it's a very easy process for them. We wanted to, So we wanted to make people aware that they could visit the website at a time, at a place that suits them, whether that be in the tractor, whether it be at home on the laptop or on their phone. So we also wanted to make sure that we had flexibility of connectivity, because obviously connectivity is a bit of a concern in a lot of rural areas. So the website actually recognises the quality of the connectivity that the person is utilising, and it delivers the content in such a way to maximise their experience. So for instance, they may still be able to view videos but at a lower resolution, so it can recognise this. We wanted to make it available on as many modes as possible. So whether that's a PC, a tablet or a phone, it's all adaptable to each of those devices. Then we have a series of chapters that people move through, and it's a very personalised process. It's a little bit like a choose your own adventure. So as people answer questions or provide insights or information, we're able to personalise their experience, right down to really the images that they're presented. So for instance, when we ask what type of farming you're involved in, if somebody tells us they're involved in dairy farming, the images that they see from that point onwards relate to dairy farming. So it's all very personalised. And the content that is delivered to people there's quite a range of different styles of content. So we have postcards. And some time ago we sent out hard copy postcards right around Australia for people to put their messages of insights and supports onto. And these postcards have been digitised and are included as content on the website. We also have opportunities for people to complete online postcards as they're making their way through. We have some fantastic and powerful video stories for people to view. So we ran a digital storytelling workshop earlier this year and had a group of farming people who'd been affected by suicide tell their own story in a brief multimedia style video. We also have videos from health professionals and stigma experts delivering information in a farming contextualised kind of way. We also ask people to set personal goals along the way. They're SMART goals, so they're simple goals that people can readily achieve, and then we ask them to come back to the site and report on how successful or the type of barriers perhaps that prevented them from achieving those goals. So yes, some of these are examples of the type of content that you can see there. And then once people have progressed through the website and completed the post-assessment tools, they then have access to all of the postcards and videos in our postcard and video library, and they can re-access these at any time using their original login. And so during their process through the website, they may not have seen all these postcards and videos. It will have depended on their own personalised pathway, but as I said, they have access to everything at the end of the program. So I guess now I'd like to finish up with a call to action for everybody here. So what we really need now is the website's been launched on the 30th of June. It's up, it's running, it's proving to be of huge interest in the community. We've had over 3,500 unique visitors to the site. What we really need to encourage now though is going beyond just a visit to the site. We're needing people to register and actually participate in their personalised pathway through the ripple effect. So I'd like to challenge you to each participate in the website and then find 5 other people through your networks to also register and participate. We'd love you to share the site on social media and any other way through your networks that you may have in rural areas. We've got lots of flyers here. You've each got one in your conference bag, but if you would like more, I'll leave a pile on the table outside the door, and please do help yourself. If you'd like to contact us at any stage, there's our social media pages that we'd love you to visit and to share among your networks. Or you can contact me directly if you have any questions along the way or would like some more resources to share.